Tin Man by America is a good song to play for a lot of reasons. It's a fun song just to get familiar with some chords that I think are really pretty chords. And it's also a good song maybe for two people to play together, and that if you're a vocalist, obviously you can sing the song. And I would say it's sort of a beginner intermediate level piece. There's three sections to it that I want to show you today. The first section is what I would just call the intro. It's also kind of a turnaround when it gets into the song between the chorus and back into the verse. It's played down here on the 3rd and 5th fret. What we do to get that is I use my first finger on the 3rd fret of the high E string, and then I lay my 3rd finger on the 5th fret of the G string, and then my pinky right in under it on the B string 5th fret. That's the first grip. I try to strum primarily the top 4, maybe 4 or 5 strings. Top 4 is probably a little better. And then from that grip I move my pinky down to the high E string 5th fret. Leave everything else where it is. So in this grip I end up with my first finger on the 3rd fret of the B string, 5th fret of the G string with my 3rd finger, and pinky down here on the high E string 5th fret. And that's the only 2 grips for the intro. Let me put those together for you really slow. The next part of the song is the verse. The verse uses major 7 chords, which are real pretty chords, and they have a natural 7 in them, which gives them a distinct sound. They actually have a dissonance in them when you play the 1 and the natural 7, but within the context of the chord, it makes a really nice sound. So in the verse, I use a G major 7 chord, which is kind of a right down the line chord, 2nd fret of the high E string, 3rd fret of the B string, 4th fret of the G string, 5th fret of the D string. And I try to focus on those top 4 strings. That's kind of the driving chord there of the verse. And a lot of times, maybe in the performance part of it, you'll notice that I'll go ahead and bar the top 4 strings with or 5 strings with my first finger, from the high E all the way down to the A string, and kind of make it sit up like this. Just because that's a little more comfortable for me, and if I go ahead and hit this low A string, it fits in the chord nicely. It's actually the 3rd of the chord, and it'll work. So you can grab that grip either way, and I would practice it both ways. The next chord in the verse is a C major 7 chord. I've noticed that when America plays it, they sometimes use sort of an abbreviated version, essentially a D minor chord moved up 2 frets. First finger on the G string, 2nd finger on the high E string, 2nd finger on the G string, 4th fret, and then I put my 3rd finger here on the 5th fret of the B string. And that's either an E minor or a C major 7. In this case, a C major 7 chord. But when I play it, I like for it to sound a bit fuller than that, since I'm usually playing it by myself. So I make this really nice major 7 grip that's very useful. I bar again all the way across 5 strings, every string but my low E string. I don't bar yet. And then in this case it's on the 3rd fret. I drop my 2nd finger on the 4th fret of the G string. My 3rd finger goes on the 5th fret of the D, and then my pinky goes directly in under it on the B string, 5th fret. So it sets up a chord like this. If you know A major 7, you can sort of envision it being moved up 3 frets. This is a great grip to take anywhere on the fretboard. Really pretty chord. So again, that puts my verse as these 2 chords. Here's my alternative grip. Just one more idea on the G major 7 chord. If you can throw your thumb around on the low E string on the 3rd fret, that also gets the root of the chord and makes for a really nice full sound. And I use my pinky to kind of mute the A string, because you really don't want the A tone. So I can kind of mute it and get this nice G major 7 chord that way. Now let's go into the last section, which is the chorus. The chorus basically takes this group, the sort of second grip that I showed you, G major 7, and slides it up to the 7th fret. So now I've got a bar on the 7th fret, 8th fret with my second finger on the B string, 9th fret with my third finger on the G string, and then 10th fret with my pinky down here on the D string. And again, I've got this barred on the 7th fret, the A string with my first finger. Now when I go to the chorus, I like to strum across all 6 strings using the low E string. That's the 3rd of this chord, and it sounds kind of nice, I think. And then I just really slide that same grip down again to the 2nd fret, and then back into this G major 7 position. So the chorus for me works like this. All 6 strings, back to 5 strings. One more time. Then we go back into the intro or the turnaround. That's Tin Man by America.